Hello and welcome to the AirGon lab. In this video, we will walk through the Publisher Client application, which is a part of the AirGon hosted solution. You can install the application from the URL http://airgon.com/publisher-client-wizard/publish.htm. Publisher Client can be run either from the shortcut on the Windows desktop or via an entry under AirGon in the Program Files menu. So let me go to my All Programs, AirGon, Online, and Publisher Client Wizard. Publisher Client begins with a authentication screen. This screen requires publisher credentials, which are provided by AirGon. The application remembers the previously entered username. So you see the username already here. Let me key in the password. And click on log on. If the credentials are valid, you're taken to the welcome screen. Okay, here we see the welcome screen, which just describes a brief overview about the project, and we have this checkbox down here which skips the screen on startup. So when you check this for your next run of the application, the welcome screen is skipped. We have another button called options. This can be used to specify the directory used by the application to cache files for upload. The application remembers this location and uses it for the current run as well as the subsequent runs. I'm using the default one, so click on OK and click on Next. Next is the company screen. The publishing process creates or updates a project for a specific company. The publisher owns a set of companies, so the combo box here will list all the companies owned by the publisher. You can either select an existing company or create a new one. Let's select a create new company and create a new one. When you click on the next, the company is saved and an associated hosted website is also created. Okay, we have the company saved and then the website also created. The next screen is the company administrator screen. When a company is created, an initial user is created and this user has administrative rights for the company. A company can have any number of users who are administrators. The administrator selected will be notified via email of the publishing action taken by the publisher. The drop down here lists all the administrators available for this company. Since this is a new company, we don't have any existing administrators. Let us create a new administrator. Click on Next. This will save the administrator and you'll be taken to the Project tab. This is the Client Project screen. A project represents a particular area under study. The publisher publishes temporal and non-temporal images, features, and reports to a specific project. This data can be viewed by employees of the company to which the project belongs. The drop-down here will list all the projects available for the company. Since this is a new company, we don't have any projects right now. So let us create a new project. I'll call it query and give a description for it. And click on Next. This will create a new project and we are taken to the project data page. Once the project has been determined, the publisher specifies the project data. Project data consists of temporal and non-temporal images, features, and reports. Non-temporal, that is time-invariant data, is data which does not change with time. For example, like nearby property images, ground control point features, so on and so forth. Temporal data is the data which changes over time. Each temporal data set which is provided is associated with a particular date. Examples of it could be the volumetric analysis features, the site image, the cut fill images from analysis, the site reports, so on and so forth. So for a new project, the project data form is as shown on the screen. We have this project name query, and we have this time invariant folder data under it, which can include images, features, and reports. Let me add some features in for the time invariant data. So click on the features, right click on the features, and add new folder. Give the folder name. Let me add some ground control points. So I'll name it ground control. Right click on ground control, say add feature files. I have ground control open. So our files have been added. If you look at the project data view, we see that the left side is the local files. This represents the files in the project which are on the local file system. As files are added to the project, they're copied to the location specified in the options on the welcome screen. The folder view on the right side represents the remote files, which are files which have been previously uploaded to the cloud. So currently there are no files which have been uploaded to the remote server, but we have files on our local. Along with the time invariant features, we can also add some temporal data. So let's add some temporal data. Right click on the project and say add temporal folder. This brings up a dialog where you can select a date. This is particularly the date where when the data is collected. So I collected my data today, so let me keep the today's date and click on OK. So we have this date added, and under the temporal folder we can have the site related data, which could be images, features, reports, or we could have some analysis folders. So let me add some site images. So query, let me make it big so the view is clear. Right click on query, say add image files. Let me add this file. Okay, and let me add some analysis folders now. Right click on the date, say add new analysis folder. This will be my volumetric analysis, which I did using LP360. So I'll add some features to this volumetric analysis, say add new folder, call it volume out, and right click, add feature files. I have this volume out. I'll select this files and say OK. Once you're done with adding all the files, if you click on the OK, we come back to the screen. And if there are any errors associated with the data, they are shown on the project data dialog and also on this dialog. If there are any errors, then they must be resolved before we go to the next step. In this case, we do not have any errors, so we have this message: input files validation successful. It shows the total number of files to be uploaded, which are 13, and the total number of files to the total size of the files to be uploaded, which is 1.24 MB. So when we click on the next, we are taken to the processing tab. As you see, the processing screen is divided into uploading, synchronization, and publishing. So it's pretty fast because we're just uploading very few files, and once the uploading is completed, the synchronization is done, and once the synchronization is done, we do the publishing part. Uploading the files requires the most amount of time in general, as the performance depends on the upload performance of the internet connection, and all these three steps are done incrementally. That means, like, if you cancel any one of these operations, when you rerun the application, the uploading or the synchronization or publishing will be continued from the point where they were cancelled the last time. So any files which are really not required or which are already uploaded are not uploaded again. So this saves a lot of work. After all these operations are completed, we are taken to the results page. So right now we are seeing the results page. This contains a link to the company website URL, a link to the project URL, and also the summary about the publishing operations. Currently there were no errors, so you see that everything was completed successfully. There is also a link for the log file. If you click on the link, you can look at the log file. At any point of time, if you click on F1, you can go, you're taken to the context sensitive help file. So that will give you a bunch of information. I hope you liked the video, and if you have any suggestions, please email us to support@geoque.com. Thank you.